Well, there's an effort to extend long-term funding for America's transportation projects. The Fixing America's Surface Transportation Act, or FAST Act, expires at the end of the month. Industry leaders are now urging Washington to not let that happen. Kip Eideberg with the Association of Equipment Manufacturers joins us now with the latest insight. And Kip, as always, thanks for your time this afternoon. Bring us up to speed, of course, on the FAST Act and what it actually accomplishes.
Well, thanks for having me back, Janet. So as you mentioned, the FAST Act, which is the funding and authorization bill that governs federal surface transportation spending, is set to expire on September 30th. The good news is that Congress is back in session this week, but lawmakers only have 10 or 11 legislative days left before that important piece of legislation expires. And there is no way at this point, we fear, that they are going to get a full reauthorization bill by then. And that means that we are yet again up against the clock. And what that means for not only our industry, the equipment manufacturing industry, but the country as a whole, is that we are looking at some uncertainty when it comes to how the federal government funds critical infrastructure. And it couldn't come at a worse time with the COVID-19 pandemic already taking its toll on our industry and communities across the country. Uncertainty around something as important as infrastructure is just going to make the situation worse.
Kip, you talk about uncertainty. What exactly is at stake with this upcoming expiration, and what type of extension are you wanting to see?
Well, first and foremost, right, it is how we fund our nation's infrastructure that is at stake, which is quite a significant challenge, not just for industries that obviously play a critical role in building our infrastructure, but industries that consume infrastructure. Our industry, not only do we make the excavators and the wheel loaders and the skid steers, right, that you'll see out there on construction projects, but we make it in many parts of the country where we depend on a state-of-the-art infrastructure in order to get those products to market. So, for our industry, it's a life and death issue, really. And for many communities across the country, if you don't have roads so that you can get to and from schools or your workplace, if you don't have access to rural broadband, something we've seen during the COVID-19 pandemic with more and more people spending time at home, you're not going to be able to access things like education or telehealth. So, it's really the future of our country that's at stake here. And so that is why, Janet, we have been urging Congress to, at the very least, get a one-year reauthorization done to provide some certainty for the country when it comes to infrastructure. And we are hopeful that they can manage that. But I've got to tell you, this is a 5-year reauthorization bill, and they've had 5 years, really, since they passed the FAST Act to figure out a way to get it reauthorized on time. And it looks like they're going to fall short yet again.
All right. Well, Kip, as always, thank you very much for your insight today. We appreciate it. Association of Equipment Manufacturers, Senior Vice President of Government and also Industry Relations, Kip Eideberg, joining us, of course, from Washington, D.C.